we're a big eBay house.
Yeah. We'll just.
I try not to. I glance occasionally just because I only really care about.
You want to see what's going out there?
I only care about vintage boxing shirts. Is really the only thing I look for.
Yeah.
And then that just like anything else in the
like HBO
Yeah.
fights from the 90s or something.
Basically, yeah. So I my favorite era is the early 80s era of boxing stuff because the 90s boxing shirts are like every shirt is black. And it's just like a lot of like big face.
They're all like 2XL.
Yeah. They're all huge, but mostly like I just like the weird era of like before they realized it was really merch.
Sure.
It was kind of like we made some shirts. I don't know if anybody wants them. Like that's kind of like
now merch is too self-aware.
Yeah.
Everyone's making merch and like ironic merch that they know looks like old merch, and it's kind of ruined it.
That like I get infuriated while looking for vintage boxing shirts where like it's a lot of it's retro. It's like new vintage designs. I'm like, this isn't what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know this isn't what I'm looking for.
I want this to fall apart in two wears.
I want it to be basically see-through.
Yeah.
So it's a little infuriating, but I love this stuff. So when I see it, I'm like, oh, I could really go for another $90 T-shirt. It's gonna be way too small because larges in '82 were like fucking youth medium. Like it's crazy how much people have changed. Americans, at least, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I'm always like a little self-satisfied when I'm like, oh, I really want this whatever like vintage Picasso shirt print, and then it's like $1,000, and like, hell yeah, I have good taste. I can't afford it,
dude.
Because if it was $40,
I saved.
like,
no, I guess not. It was like, yeah, I just organically, or
innately in my soul,
or it's just been accepted to me.
Sure.
I saved something recently, and the price was like so insane. I gotta find it. I was like, yeah, I don't know why I saved this. I'm never gonna buy it.
Just want to look at it.
Yeah, I just want to know. Just maybe one day they'll discount it 90%.
Sure.
And I'll buy it.
You want the eBay algorithm to give you something not remotely close to it, but they think like because you like this $1,000 shirt, maybe you'll like this coaster.
I think it was.
Maybe it would.
Did it sell already? It was like a $700 movie poster.
Whoa.
And then another $3,000 to get it framed.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
exactly.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing ever is the arts in the framing. That not the money's in the frame, not the art.
Know. Yeah.
My cousin who I went home to Florida, and my brother is working with him now together, and he's older. My cousin, he's like my dad's cousin. Still your cousins for some reason?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your first cousin once removed.
Whatever the fuck it's called.
We'll never learn. No,
but he's older. He's like in his 50s. And like I've known about him my whole life, kind of. But this is the first time my brother's like, no, he's like a really established, like he was a really respected artist, but he kind of had to give up creating for like making money in terms of like the framing business. So he's a business of framing and they're killing it. And he does so well. But it's just like
no one wants to buy the thing inside the frame.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
he's just framing some of the ugliest art you've ever seen in your entire life in Miami.
Sometimes, but he has like a lot of he was like name dropping famous people that come in all the time. I thought it was very funny.
Well, also then if you have to get you got to get the glass that prevents the UV glass.
Well, listen, he's like he feels bad because it's custom framing. Like, it's all hand cut. Like it's truly custom framing. So people would come in and be like, "Hi, can you frame my diploma?" And he goes, "Yeah, but it's like $400." like it's not like some like I have frames back there already done. Like it's each one, and people don't really understand what like that can mean price and time wise. So it's very funny for someone to be like, oh, I guess fuck you, I'm not paying that.
Yeah, no, it's
I guess it's the same thing. It's like, you know, even paying like $90 or $100 for like a vintage t-shirt, people are like, what? T-shirts are $10 and they're from Shein.
Yeah.
And they are extremely flammable.
And similarly to the vintage shirt, they last about 2 wears.
Yeah, exactly. But
truly.
for a completely different reason.
Those shirts, I feel like I put them on and I just smell bad immediately.
I itch too. If you're trying to like
body...
work out in like a shirt it's horrible.
It feels like the shirt's doing this to you.
Yeah. You're like, why are you?
you?
It's like clinging to my body in a way that is only made to make me feel bad.
Yeah. Like,
That's
you know what
all
you
it can do.
I don't know if actually, I'm saying something, I don't know if it's a universal feeling
Yes,
or just a very
I'll say
much,
it right now. It is.
Yeah.
You know when you're at an airport?
That's just you.
That kind of
Weirdo.
sweat that you have at an airport? Like in a plane, that kind of sweat your body produces?
Oh, yeah.
That's
like,
what
how
those
am I
shirts...
so much dirtier than
it's
usual?
before the plane, when you're just sitting down, and before the plane like turns on, you're like, I wore way too many clothes.
Yeah.
And that's just a shirt and shorts.
Yeah. But then the plane gets freezing cold. You're like, all right, thank God. It's just...
Why are they torturing us for like 15 minutes? They're punishing you for getting on the plane and being in Group A.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you fucking thought you wanted to fly, huh?
Yeah.
The Greyhound bus is cold the entire time. It's because all the windows are busted out.
And if you go stand up to use the bathroom, they boo you.
Yeah.
No, but vintage shirts, vintage boxing shirts is really the only thing I care about. Online.
Online. Vintage in New York is terrible. You can't
People
buy.
assume it's cool. I'm like, no, it's terrible.
No, it's picked through by Parsons kids like the day of, and because they're or like whatever their parents all pay their rent, so it's just like insanely overpriced.
They're all standing by the port, scratching their neck, like seeing what's in the barrels.
No, every time I perform in like a shitty city, I'm like, oh, I'm about to get some good vintage.
This is the place.
Dude, I went to Philadelphia this weekend. I came
crazy.
back up.
You got me the shirt from
I got him that shirt.
It's my
It's a
favorite
great
hockey
shirt.
team.
It was $3.
It's my favorite hockey team. Let's go Devils.
I got this shirt in Philadelphia.
Sam Kennison. That's a great
shirt.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Minneapolis. I got some great shit.
Ooh, I bet.
Great Oktoberfest stuff. Weirdly, I got like an Atlanta 96. Those are very hot. The Atlantic 96.
The Olympics?
Olympics
Okay,
shirts.
just like, I'm like,
Yeah. But I got them in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, I was in Salt Lake. I got this Barcelona 92 tote bag.
Great era.
Beautiful. Can I have that?
No.
And you didn't have a lot of tote bags, probably.
No.
You were running low.
Thank God for that.
I saw it. The best part is these are the good ones.
Yeah.
I have more stored other
These are the
places.
showing totes.
Yeah, these are the ones that I might use one day.
Yeah, you need tote bags to store your tote bags.
I
That's the
truly
main-
have a bunch of tote bags stuffed inside. I bought a lot. It's like not like a lot. Like it was like, oh, it's a lot of 7 LL Bean tote bags, and I was like, awesome. And they all showed up, and they were all like this big,
Tiny, yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. Now I just have these. I don't really
just
know
for
what the fuck.
a natural wine.
Yeah, I just like put like I guess I could put like a plant inside of it as like a pot or something.
Sure.
Like I don't fucking know. I just have them.
And also, they were sold to us as being like environmentally conscious,
Truly.
but I think you need like 40 years worth of use for one.
Like you better use it every day.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just juggle. I juggle my shit at home.
Because that used to be what it was, where it was like, you know, you'd be like if you were like a crunchy person who like used a tote bag instead of regular grocery bags, it's like you had one and it was from like you paying like the NPR,
Yeah.
like whatever, like the NPR fundraising
They tricked
drive.
you.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, cool. I want them to stop talking about the fundraising drive so much that I will give them money so they hit their goal and stop. And then you're like, cool, I'm going to use this one tote bag for 100 years. And now I'm like, I need a tote bag that matches every single outfit that I have in a way that is interesting.
You got to make a tote quilt.
Every band has to have a tote. Every brand.
Yeah. Every fucking...
I have one.
Dude.
You have one?
Yeah, for
a
9
personal. Oh, and does it do numbers?
No,
numbers?
It's the
No
only
one
tote
buys
bag
it.
you'll ever need.
But there are now, the merch thing is interesting now where it's like, it seems to be now there's like restaurants and other places that it's like, oh, you decided to open a bagel store so you could sell tote bags and t-shirts and hats, and you just happen to have bagels also.
Yeah, a cafe can't make money in downtown New York. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
possible.
no, you
but
better-
they can sell La Cabra, whatever, cinnamon bun tote bags. and
Yeah,
you're like,
you better have the... Dude, it's like, yeah, Leon's Bagels, you better have a fucking banging ass rugby shirt to sell, because the margins on that are unbelievable.
Truly, their bagels are the loss leaders.
Yeah,
yeah.
They're, come
That's
on
the
in.
rotisserie chicken.
just
at
everything is
Costco.
just from. But then there's like online ceramics, that brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like they make some cool shit, but then also there's something very weird to me about that. It's like new stuff that looks like merch from the 70s that never really existed, and like, what are you really buying? You're
Right, you're buying an idea of a concept.
yes, it's of a costume.
Oh yeah, you're like, I'm a guy who likes things that could have existed. And you're like, all right.
Well, it's like you're buying the facade of interest. You're like, I look like a person who knows about stuff
That's
Yeah.
what
while
it
I wear
is.
this. And
That's all I need. That's all I have. honestly.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
facade.
You don't have to know.
Don't
about
ask
it.
me any questions.
No,
Grateful
Don't
Dead.
ask
I have
me
no.
any
Yeah.
questions.
They're like, what do you like? I like looking like I know what I'm talking about.
Mm.
It's like, I don't need to be self-confident. I'm wearing a cool shirt. I don't know.
I have like there, and then also like fake retro movie stuff is really in now. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like they'll do like a Heat. This is what the
Yeah.
Grips wore on the Heat set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, why do I want to dress like this? But then also, why does it matter if it was the real one or the fake one? I don't know. I can't justify it to myself either
No,
way.
no.
But I want it.
But it's the thing is like if it looks cool and you have a little bit of a story to it, now you got my attention.
Yeah, I want people to know I like When Harry Met Sally. That's a movie
Yeah.
I like.
It's huge. It's a great movie. I mean, especially if you like the movie. I guess it's an argument if you like the thing. If you don't like the thing and you only like the aesthetic of the thing, you're like, oh, that's an interesting way to make a decision.
But then why is the new version feel cheaper
Right,
than
it
like
does.
than whatever the real shirt that they may have made for the movie.
I don't know.
I think because it used to be like, oh, it was a journey in some way to get this shirt, the original one, where it's like, oh, I had to
There's
go.
effort.
I went to Minneapolis and went to a thrift store and found it.
Yeah, like
And
an
now it's
old guy
cool.
had to die.
Exactly, yeah. And then now you're like, oh, some guy who like went to FIT and then he got kicked out for like groping people, gets to start like a faceless like retro movie. Shopify store.
Yeah, and he like read the algorithm.
Exactly.
Well.
And he decided, he goes like, oh, everyone's talking about that picture of Billy Crystal wearing the sweater from when Harry, like in like a photo shoot from When Harry Met Sally. All right, people talk about When Harry Met Sally. All right, I'll spend 10 hours making a When Harry Met Sally design, and then I can put it up for pre-order.
Idiots
and then
like Dan. Well,
yeah, exactly. Or like
fucking eat it up.
dude. Yeah, oh yeah, dude.
Oh, Dan's on the toilet. We're like, oh, that's cool by that.
Yeah.
It's like actually a really underrated Rob Reiner film.
Yeah.
North. I want the North.
There you go.
North shirts.
Gotta wear my Punch Drunk Love shirt out so women will know I am interesting and have a soft spot.
Because the thing's attractive to a woman is her knowing that you like movies.
Yeah, especially ones about autistic,
Autistic violent men who snap.
but are really good at coupons.
Yeah.
Couponing.
It's a perfect movie. It's 95 minutes.
Yeah, it is. I did watch it with my wife, and I sold it to her as a rom-com, and it's not that.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was a. I remember.
It's funny how in your mind you're like, shit, I was wrong.
Like, it's funny and there's romance.
Yeah, and it's neither of those things. It's like a weird dreamscape.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. That's definitely the kind of movie that if you show to a woman, you can understand them being kind of upset, but if they're not upset, you're like, all right, okay,
We
cool.
gotta keep her.
You gotta keep her. I guess you get to keep your wife now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's didn't someone on Twitter like get roasted because they were like, "Oh, now's the test for our relationship," and they were showing her Miami Vice. And then
The movie?
Yeah, the movie.
The fuck? All right.
For some reason, that movie is
the
like has
test?
had a resurgence. The Michael Mann.
Yeah, people were like, oh, it's actually good.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll give it a chance. I don't remember
you
it
gotta
being good.
rewatch
I
it.
feel like I watched it and I was like,
It's like a dude's rock movie.
Yeah.
Where they like drive a speedboat to Cuba.
I'm more of
True,
a pain
but
and gain kind of guy.
But I feel like if we're gonna talk about dudes rock movies and Michael Mann, you're skipping over to the best dudes rock movie of all time.
No, this is the thing where you always have to find like a weirder,
Yeah,
more shitty
obscure.
thing that you can then defend as being secretly better.
Because there is value in you as a person being able to be like, I think this is good, and you all are wrong.
You know the thing that really sucks, and we all know sucks. I'm gonna be that about Megalopolis. I know it's gonna suck.
Nice.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell
You just
everyone.
decided,
I just
yeah.
decided.
You haven't even
I'm
watched
the
it
Megalopolis
yet.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have Megalopolis hat.
I sat through it 5 times.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's so funny. You're trying to tell people you like it, and you're like,
I know,
I
yeah.
sat through it.
No, I've decided.
I've made it. Yeah.
I've fucking punished
Yeah.
myself.
It's like how all of Chicago is like, we know Malort is bad, but we've decided that this disgusting alcohol is our identity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you're just like, okay.
Upstate
Cool.
with Moxie. They love
Dude,
that shit.
yeah, that's
You heard Moxie?
No.
It's a soda that sucks.
It's bad.
And they
tastes
love
like
it.
it tastes like
Is that the
medicine.
tagline?
That's the whole thing.
Moxie. should
A
be.
soda that sucks.
It's orange and it tastes like fucking medicine. And they're like, no, you don't get it. I'm
That's
like,
how I feel about Poppi. Have you ever had the?
oh,
the-
yeah. Poppi I've had. I'm like, I don't, no thanks.
Like one of them is good, and then the rest tastes like medicine.
Very, that like, you know that when chia seeds are in water and they have that gelatinous cover, Poppi feels like they scrape that off the chia seed. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels weird to me. I don't like it. But yeah, it's very similar to that where people are kind of like, this is us. This is our thing that sucks and that defines us.
Yeah.
Yeah, just drink a Diet Coke. It's like
Just,
it's so
they figured
good.
it out.
I saw a guy walking down the street because I think Poppi is like supposed to be like healthy soda or like it's like prebiotic.
By the way,
all
they're
this-
being sued because you have to have like way more.
Yeah, you have to-
Of
You have
course.
to have like 10,
16
yeah.
of
You
them.
drink like 10 of them, and then the sugar that's in it completely negates any of the health factors. But I saw a guy drinking a Poppi and smoking a cigarette, and I was like, "Hey, man, pick one."
That's awesome.
Like pick.
Same hand too.
Yeah, truly. Like, just I don't know, like pick one. Like the Poppi's not canceling out
No.
the cigarette. But
And
now
there's
it
no
is
way
funny.
he's like, I like how this tastes. I don't know. Maybe he just
Maybe. But it is funny now that, like, because of how, like, crazy vapes seem to me, where I'm like, you're, like, sucking on, like, a computer chip, that I'm like, how are you making cigarettes seem healthy?
Yeah.
Like, you're making cigarettes seem like the healthy, like, organic choice.
Also, way cooler. Maybe it was because doesn't Philip Morris own all the vape companies anyway?
It's a long con.
It's a long con. You're
Make
like,
cigarettes cool
holy
again.
shit, we figured it out in 1
everyone
second.
who smokes a vape immediately loser. Then you're like, cigarette guy, kind of
Kinda
badass.
cool and
Sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a. I was gonna say like a guy driving a horse, and I'm like that doesn't make any sense. I was even gonna.
camel?
No,
A
it's like
camel?
No, it's like a guy driving a horse. Yeah.
It's like a guy decided to drive a horse
No, I'm
to work.
picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, so Philip Morris is doing a long con, making vapes truly lame.
Yeah, just like attaching it to the Bitcoin humans
Yes.
of society. They probably give them out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They hand them out to people. Like, here, enjoy that.
Because that was like how they got women to start smoking. Was Edward Bernays, who was like the nephew of Freud. He like invented public relations, basically.
Whoa, okay.
And then in the 20s, his big coup was that he convinced women that smoking was like part of this feminist movement and independence. Yeah.
So it's like, just do the thing that the guys do.
Yeah. You're an independent woman. You can smoke. You're
you can
cool.
give yourself cancer just like they can.
And they just opened up a whole market because women used to not smoke. It was not like elegant.
Right.
Yeah, and you harder with the gloves, etc.
I have this
sick.
like it was like an idea for a joke, and then I was like, oh, this isn't funny. But it was like
I
kind
just
of
had an
thing
idea.
where it's like,
That's my act.
Yeah. I was like, so you'll relate to this. But it's like that thing is really funny to be like, hey, just like this is what freedom is for women. It's like you should start smoking and you should go to work and you should do all this stuff. Where it's like the thing where it's like when conservative guys are really loud about wanting women to go like whatever, like just like hating women's bodies and their freedoms with it and stuff like that. But it's like, hey man, if you just shut up, we kind of win. It's like I'm like, yeah, man, I love women's independence. It's like now no women anywhere near me wear a bra.
Oh yeah.
And I just get
Really
to
I'm so supportive. It is.
I'm like, I just go like, oh yeah, it's all awesome, and I'm like, and now every woman is like, I'm gonna be topless at the park, and I'm like,
sick.
yes,
Yeah, just south of 14th Street, just the bras disappear.
it's gone.
Just like the bras you're burning, honey, I'm very supportive.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
hello.
but yeah,
Hello, hi.
Hello.
but I'm just like, if you just shut up, you win. You're like every woman is now like, yeah, every relationship is open. You can have sex with whoever you want and still love me, and my nipples are just gonna be out and available at all times. And I'm like, this is awesome, and I'm a good guy for agreeing
I'm
to this.
so supportive.
And I'm a good guy for being like, this is awesome. That's great.
You
love
do
that.
remember every summer in New York that you're an animal?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
You think
Yeah.
you're like a great person in the winter? Just like, oh my god,
She is
I'm
I and I
I've
am
never
him.
been horny for anyone in my
Yeah.
life. I am a Buddhist monk.
I'm reading
And then
so
just,
many
like,
books and paying
The
attention.
first
to no one-
70-degree day, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm growling at them.
Yeah. You have to like use
Why
a
am I
little crank.
agitated?
You have to use a crank on your neck to roll your tongue back in. You're like, like a fucking
The end
text
of
Avery.
March is a fucking full moon to a werewolf. It's just like,
We all have to go back to therapy. We're like, I thought I figured it out, but
Oh,
actually,
Yeah.
clock me back in.
Actually, just what happened is coats. Coats happened.
coats happen.
Coats happened, and I had to kind of.
Ah.
That was kind of enough for me to focus on me. So yeah, you have to really like you have to like really do all the work.
The men
while
who
it's cold.
catcall at the women in coats, that's a commitment.
Dude, yeah.
I've seen that happen, and you're like, wow, just to nothing? Just to
Yeah.
the shapeless,
You just do a bet.
a shapeless mass
Yeah.
underneath?
There is a thing too, though. It's like when it's like a warm out. I'm like outside. I'm riding my bike, and I'll like see a woman, and I'll be like, "You gotta bark at her like a dog." And I'm like, "No, you don't. Don't do it." But in my head, for a second, I'm like, "Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah,
That's like a good idea." And I'm like, dude, go do some push-ups or go fucking call your parents."
I think it's a
Something
good
to, like-
sign if both you have that inside and you're able to repress it.
Yeah, I listened to an Andrew Huberman podcast. And
Yeah.
It satisfies whatever urge.
He'll get me every once in a while.
He gets me too because he has the
Oh.
facade of
Of an educated person. I mean, he is an educated person.
of all
but-
the people. He's like it's like, oh, this guy maybe doesn't seem like a crank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
But then
I
I'm
get
like,
that.
why am I going outside first thing in the morning to stare at the sun?
Stare at the sun.
Why did I
Makes
set
sense.
my phone up so we can do that and turn off all the blue light from it and
just
only be
looks-
red?
I just saved that exact
Crazy.
name on my phone.
Oh yeah, dude, it's the best. It's the R. Crumb
Talk
normal
about
guy.
Talk about horny.
Yeah, dude. Talk about a fucking animal.
Yeah, but you can take all the blue light out of your phone and make the screen completely red, and I have said it's when my phone goes to evil mode.
It happens at night or at all times now?
I have it set up so I hit the side button 3 times.
And what, it makes it less appealing?
It is so like the blue light is like that helps you if you have too much blue light coming on. That's like why they're like, oh, you shouldn't be watching TV like an hour before you go to sleep. So it's just like your circadian rhythm and all that stuff. It's like it helps you kind of fall asleep, and you're not just like completely activated and on all the time and having like blue light in your face, because I'm laying in bed with my phone this close to my face right before I go
and
to
then
sleep.
it falls asleep.
Yeah, I fall asleep like this, and I'm like, why don't I sleep well? I'm like, because I have a TikTok blaring about some guy being like, get ready with me to go to the farmer's market. And I'm like, oh, cool, I feel good about myself.
And then you can't wait to wake up to Twitter just like Nazi, Nazi shit.
Being like, oh, cool, smiling guy 1488 liked my tweet. I should probably delete it if he's related to this at all.
This fucking loser likes it.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a problem sleeping, but I feel like that could be useful.
Yeah.
The red light.
The new iOS allows you to add like Face ID for any app.
Oh.
So because I'm a child and I don't have self-control, I added it to almost every single app because it just makes it a little more annoying.
1 second delay.
1 second delay.
Wow.
And it is so annoying. And I actively just like you ever like close Instagram and you'll just reopen Instagram? Yeah. So I just have stopped doing that because it's just a little.
This is how we got to fight back. You got to fight back with you have to fight back.
I failed the marshmallow test 1,000 times a day.
You have to fight back with what the mantra it's created with your like inability to focus and pay attention. You're like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah. We're not going to solve climate change by like changing our actions. We just have to like
annoy ourselves.
Send silver nitrate into the sky. We have to geoengineer.
We all have to get saunas in our house so we can get used to it being a higher temperature outside.
Absolutely. Every day I drink a little bit of salt water, so I'm getting used to it.
But that's the thing. It's like my phone. I have it set up where it's like when you switch from regular on Safari or whatever on the iPhone, when you switch from regular browsing to private browsing, you have to use Face ID, and I only look at Pornhub while it's on private browsing. So now if I do that and I have to like use my phone, if I have to use my face I'm using my face to unlock the porn browser. I'm like, I'm actually just gonna go to sleep.
It just makes a noise like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, dude, truly. I'm just like, oh, fuck this.
He's at it again.
Yeah.
Whatever the fucking audio.
Pervert alert. Just like going off.
Boner time.
A red light. I'm like, oh, at least the light's red.
What is a good reason to use private browser? Who has ever used it for non-nefarious or shameful ends?
Oh, I don't know. I'm assuming some type of spy issue, but I don't.
Or if you're being like, I don't want my wife to know I'm looking at Zales.com or like my girlfriend to know I'm looking at Zales.com for a ring or something like that, which I'm not.
Sure, you're not.
No, I'm not doing that. No.
Not.
She tells you exactly what to buy.
Yeah. She goes, yeah. You're gonna find a ring, and it's gonna be old. And
who are the men just guessing what their?
That's a fucking ballsy choice.
$20,000 on your taste.
So you're married.
Yeah.
What was the process? Congratulations.
Thank you.
When did it happen?
June.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
And I wasn't invited.
And Pride
You
Month.
were not invited. Neither of you were invited. As close as we are. Even though I probably spent more.
Close as we are.
Even though I probably spent more time around you than I have like many of my close friends.
Sure.
Just at the worst bars in New York City, which is memories I want to erase.
Yeah.
And
you decided to have a straight wedding during Pride Month to make a stance.
Yeah. It was so straight.
But okay, so like I've never been engaged or anything like that. No one loves me, etc. When you were like getting the engagement ring, did you like have to consult with your like a big consultation with your now wife?
She was kind and pretended like I had some say.
Okay, yeah.
But it was just very clear, or like we would just be like, I mean, it was just years of us watching TikTok together, and you're like, well, that's the one I like that.
Okay,
but maybe the stone's a little too big, or maybe And or you just see so many rings out there in the world, and so. She's not telling you by her comments that she does or does not like.
Yeah. But it was like the only choice you had was like when to ask, when to show it to her.
And even then, there was like a 3-week window.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You're
That's
like
hilarious.
That's so yeah.
That's
Because there's definitely like
love is alive. Love is
yeah, it's beautiful. But it is the thing where you're like, okay, what's better, being spontaneous or it going well?
Yeah,
and I'm
no,
like, I think it going well is
Oh.
way more. Like, there's other things I can be spontaneous about, like being like, hey, I brought a pizza home,
Right,
and
right.
didn't tell you, or something like that. You're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
that's
I
20
cooked
bucks.
ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I already had a salad. You go like, okay, well, I could wrap this up and put it in the fridge then afterwards.
And she's like,
Yeah.
throw it away.
That's not
Yeah.
the most expensive thing you'll ever purchase in your life.
It's not. Here's a year's salary on my hand. Well, I hopefully you're making more than $20,000 a year, but
What?
no,
Who does
I'm
that?
not.
Comedians
No, I wouldn't.
I don't know. Did you see the thing during the Olympics where a woman won something, and then
They let them win
her
things now?
yeah.
That's so nice.
I was mad.
It was the Special Olympics, or what?
She wins a race or something, and then her boyfriend proposes to her, and then a bunch of people on Twitter were mad, and they're like, "Of course, he had to make this about him." And I can kind of see her point. The people mad about it, but I'm like, it wasn't. It's not about him, really. I think it's bad timing to do that when you
Yeah,
achieve something else, because now the achievement has moved over. And it's like, let her have that moment.
Yeah, you give 2 days to
you get 2
celebrate.
days, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is very funny to be like, he had to make this about him. And the idea that women think that men are proposing and are thinking about themselves is like, this is not.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking
they
about you
don't-
stop complaining about this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
there's
got-
never a time where a man's like, I should definitely be barefoot on a beach with a photographer hiding
No,
somewhere.
I fucking hate that.
I don't want that one bit.
Yeah. How did you propose?
Asking?
Actually, JT Can't Shoot. He's the he was the photographer.
Sick.
Snuck around. But the one thing I was gonna ask at the Olympics thing, was he gonna propose if she lost?
That's the thing. I've always wondered that.
If it was bronze, like nah,
Yeah.
He just puts it- he's
I'm
like,
not-
"Shh."
not this bitch. No,
I
fucking
guess I'm proposing
loser.
to my first loser wife.
Yeah.
Silver medal bullshit.
Or he was just only gonna propose to the first medal
Sure.
winner,
Oh,
no
yeah,
matter
yeah.
who she was.
Or he had 3 rings in his pocket at different price ranges. If she won first place, she
Yeah,
gets the
you're
big
like
one.
you're a good girl. Yeah.
What's this under the ring? Oh, it's a receipt, just in case.
Don't worry about that.
My proposal story.
Yeah. Oh.
And
please keep
I don't think a
short.
man has ever asked me before.
Yeah, no, I'm just interested.
Um,
In the same way, if I meet an astronaut, I go, "What's it like going to the moon?"
yeah, yeah.
Like, it's like I
My
have
phone
no
will
experience in it at all.
But you might one day.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, and you want to compare. I asked her to film a TikTok of me
Beautiful.
because I make those. I'm an annoying person. So I was like, how do I lure her to the Williamsburg waterfront without it seeming awkward? And I was like, oh, I'm making this TikTok. I need the background. And then as she was filming, I got down. I did the thing. I did it way too fast, I think.
Oh.
Looking at the photo, I was like, and I was already up. I feel like I should have stayed.
Stay down a little bit.
Stay
Oh,
down.
yeah.
And then we went to my brother's house, he lives nearby, and then I had all our friends there, and they surprised
Oh,
us.
There
that's
you
a-
go. That's nice. I don't like it when they have the family in the space that you're proposing.
Yeah, no, that's
Because that's A, it's pressure on her to be like, oh, I guess I gotta fucking say
you
yes now.
gotta say yes.
But then B, it's like, I don't know. I like that you did this separate. I think that's cool. I think have a little party. Hey,
Yeah.
everyone ready? All right.
And then it was like I got like 2 surprises.
That exactly.
Yeah. Oh, but
Sick.
she contends. This is how I know maybe I'm a piece of shit. She contends that she knew something was up because we were walking, and then I'm like, I walk faster than her, and I think she walks badly in New York. She doesn't navigate
That's
people.
a very
Yeah.
important thing in New York
She
City.
doesn't navigate people well.
Yeah.
So like, if we're behind someone who's walking slowly, then one person has to like run ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, to kind of clear the space.
Like
yeah.
an ambulance driving
Yeah,
through
and
the streets.
then I'm always that person. I'm like cutting
Yeah.
ahead. So that kind of happened, and then I was like, "Oh, after you." And I think I was just like being. I think she was like, "You're being,
You were being too nice to me.
you're
I knew
being
something
mildly
was
less
afoot.
autistic today."
That's awesome.
Fuck.
She could tell something was up.
She's like, you were being
like,
kind
damn.
and compassionate, so I knew something was off.
I knew something was up when you opened the door for me and
Yeah.
then spit at my feet.
Yeah, you didn't recap the Lord of the Rings to me today, so something was
All right,
amiss.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Are you thinking
That's
about
fun.
Oh,
proposing?
No.
Okay,
No.
you can erase this if there's
No. I mean, I have a girlfriend, but I'm not thinking about proposing anytime soon. I'm just, I guess I'm just curious because I feel like,
Wink.
I don't know. I
Do
think
you
of you
think
as
you're
like
ever
someone
gonna
who has like, what's up?
Do you think you'll be married at some point?
I always said no,
Yeah.
and now I think as I get older, I'm like, I don't see, especially I'm like, I don't see what the difference is.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a girlfriend for 30 years, or I have a wife and
Partner.
Yeah,
You have a partner.
exactly. It's like, oh, and then if I get sick, I have to do some kind of and I will. You know, she has to do some kind of rigmarole to see me in the hospital.
Yeah. She's
Yeah,
gonna climb.
she has to pull out mail to prove it.
yeah. We have to compare our IDs to be like, look, it's the same apartment.
Yeah, no, we both got the J. Crew catalog.
Yeah, exactly. We both got the Uline catalog sent to our house.
Moving in together
reason.
is the big thing. At this,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe when people didn't used to do that before they got married, but at this point, like you live together. There's so many steps before marriage now. And like whatever you vet them through whatever horrible algorithm, and then you like don't live together, and then she stays over too much, and then your roommate gets annoyed, and you're like, oh, let's just move in together.
No, she'll pay. She'll pay for it. She'll pay.
She'll pay. Yeah.
Oh, she used some of the toilet paper. She'll pay.
Yeah, you get annoyed. You're like, I gotta. I set up my life to commute from my house, and I have to commute from your house, and it's different, and I'm annoyed. And so it's like, now let's make both of our lives a little bit harder by meeting in the middle of what neighborhood we want to live in. Yeah.
Well, my wife's a teacher, and she teaches in Inwood, and so she always wants to move more uptown. And I'm like, I'm at the max of where I will agree to live in New York City.
You've reached it.
Yeah.
Where's Inwood?
Inwood is like 208th. Like it's the very tip of Manhattan.
Oh, shit.
Where the cloisters are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Remember that guy Kevin Barry used to run shows there?
Yeah, don't say no to that show.
Oh yeah, it was up on like a.
Yeah.
It was like
I did that.
chance.
I did that, and it was like, this is a year. I thought I lived in uptown Manhattan, and it's taking me a year to get it.
So far.
You're like, oh, this is where my friends go for a day trip.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, we're gonna go to the cloisters and then blah blah blah, and it's like, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go up there to do 11 minutes of mildly okay stand-up comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up there and
For Dominicans, for only Dominicans.
yeah, I'm gonna go up there and talk about my Bushwick problems to guys who are actively smoking hookah while I do stand-up, and they are not gonna
They
like
drove
it.
their mopeds into here.
They're in the audience revving the engines.
Yeah,
they're waiting for a DoorDash call while I'm doing stand-up for them.
They want to hear my takes on the bear. They love it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
They're like, he gets the t-shirts tailored. They don't even fit you like that when you buy them. Like, what's the fucking point?
What are you fucking spending $200 on?
And on how much bleach is he using on these shirts?
Yeah, dude.
He's getting
It's
spritz
ridiculous.
on them all the
There's
time.
Spaghetti sauce all over it. And
Yeah, dude, you're making
BO.
a fucking Chicago dipped beef sandwich.
Maybe that's
and
why
a
they
tuna-
switched to fine dining, because he was getting
the
too
shirt
much.
budget was going, yeah, that's what
He
it
was
was.
losing too many shirts to the beef.
Yeah, you might as well
The
get
stewed
like yourself a
peppers.
nice like Tom Brown.
Yeah.
You get yourself a
Only
Tom Brown
ceviche.
chest coat.
Just
Yeah.
with a little fork.
Yeah, you're like, no. I'm gonna switch to tweezer food so my clothes stay cleaner.
Yeah. Dude, fuck all that $90 shirt. Fuck you.
It's funny though because you're like fucking another shirt, and then you're like, well, if there's a boxer printed on it, then I
Yeah, it's
will.
rare. Actually, I will
Yeah.
say that.
There's some graphic design,
Yeah.
that went into that. By the way, you showed me the R. Crumb thing. Those are
Yeah.
I've looked at R. Crumb
Yeah.
shirts. Those are insanely expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one that I paid not
People
too
love
much
perverts.
money. Yeah.
Yes.
I love perverts.
Just thick thighs.
Yeah. Well, because I have like the older like the Keep on Truckin' shirt, not like the cartoon like crazy porno ones. Which
There's
are
one
fucking
with
awesome.
Robert Johnson, the because he did a whole series about like his favorite blues
Yeah.
musicians, and that one was like $800.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Fuck.
It's like, damn it, I don't want it that much.
That's a lot.
I'll have to wait till my next trip to like Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
Oh,
can
yeah,
find,
yeah, yeah.
It's like for free. They're
Like,
like,
please take-
We give it out.
Wipe your
Yeah,
ass with
the
that.
guy who used to own this and died was really weird. And nobody wants his shirts, and you're like, "Thank you, I'll take
But
the
I wonder
town
if
freaks."
eBay has ruined that, because now, like, if you have that shirt and you live in the middle of nowhere, now you know what the market rate is.
Yes, because it used to be so like Goodwill has like a basically like their own eBay now. Like you can go on there and bid on stuff, and it used to just be like, oh, something goes to the Goodwill, and they're like, oh, this is just some camera. This is just some film camera. We'll put it out there. It's $5. Who the fuck cares about film cameras? And then now they have like, people working there that know like, oh, this film camera is worth $600. So we can't just, we'll make more money if we put it up. And even if we sell it for $300 instead of $5, we'll be making more money.
Yeah. There's an app that was like, oh no, a kid in Bushwick will pay so much for this. What are you doing?
I mean, there is an app that I have seen. You definitely see people like using it at thrift stores now, where they're like taking photos of something and then like seeing if listings of it pop up on all the different, Depop and eBay and all that shit, just to be like, is this, because it's like, that's the thing, is like you don't have to like know about stuff anymore in the same way where it's like,
oh yeah,
you used to-
completely.
like I know people who have like the lineage of one T-shirt brand's tags memorized because they can look at it and be like, oh, this is a screenshot from 1975 because the tag is black instead of white, and then now you just go like, and then you go like, oh, okay, you just Google like whatever, like Arkrum Robert Johnson T-shirt black, and then like it just populates like every price of everything, and then if it's been bootlegged and how to tell and all this stuff, and then you're just like, oh yeah, you don't have to like know anymore. And now that's why thrift stores and everything in New York City or whatever is like sucks now, because it's just like some kid who can be like, or some kid who's like, oh, Jenkos are cool, I'm gonna find a pair of Jenkos and then be like, I don't know, $200. Do you want to pay $200 for them? And it's like, no, those are like some like dirty ravers old pants.
Yeah.
You want to know Dickies for $300?
Dude, it's insane.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah. Hey, this is a vintage My Chemical Romance shirt, and you're like, oh, ow, I'm old.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking ow.
yeah,
I remember when
is
they
hard.
came out, and I hated it then.
I was driving.
Yeah.
Connoisseurship is kind of is pointless.
Yeah.
There's no benefit for it. You only seem like a psychopath if you do it.
Yeah. Now everyone just accuses you of being autistic when you know about something.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, listen.
You don't have to chat GPT every single thing in life.
Yeah. You're like, hey, listen, I am autistic, but it's not because I know about stuff.
Right.
It's because I think emotions are fake.
And you were cool. People will like come to you, be like, "Tell me, what's this brand?" You know?
Yeah, and then now it's just like, I'm sure there's a TikTok of some guy with the bussin' haircut telling me about the history of camber sweatshirts or whatever.
True.
Like, now you don't have to like learn about anything. Now you can be like, look up like old T-shirt worth, and you just go like, okay, cool, there it is.
The internet must be right. The marketplace wouldn't lie to me about the price.
Somebody's charging $300 for it, so the shirt must be worth $300.
Yeah.
But eventually, like, no one will know why.
Right. It'll get so separate and
So,
it was
like-
so divisive.
And you could
divided?
it just like only eBay knows. It was only $300 because it was $300. That's the reason. Well,
Yeah.
The one that becomes like art again. Like it
Yeah,
automatically
yeah.
becomes art. It's like, why is this painting worth $200,000?
we don't
Because
know.
someone wants to pay it.
Yeah.
Someone will pay it, and that's what it costs.
Because some guy paid for one of his paintings for $100,000, and now you can't say that any of his paintings are worth less because then it
Yeah.
devalues all the other paintings.
Yes.
So it's
Well, you know, galleries will buy their artist's work back at auction if it's at risk
Mm-hmm.
of
going for less?
Of going for less, because then their artist's market is seen as like fucked.
Yeah.
So they'll buy it in secret, so it doesn't seem like they're not doing well. Because then also all the other people who own the work will start to offload the work, and it'll be like this death spiral.
Such a weird, like, oh, it's stocks is what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's
like
stocks
money
with, like,
laundering in a
with
way.
With
that
way
connects
more
to
vibes.
one weird guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah, and stocks and like groupthink and this like protean notion of like coolness and hotness, which is like no one can really
No, yeah.
understand exactly. It's related to like context and where they went to school and who they knew and who showed them. Yeah, the art market's super, super weird.
I'm going to get out of it. I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
I think I'm out.
You're
I got
selling
6 or 7 Rothkos upstairs. I'm going to get rid of them one day.
But that's the thing is like I know like
just using them as tables,
Yeah.
coffee tables.
I have them turned around, leaning against my wall.
I use them. I hang my gym clothes on them to dry because I'm like, oh, it's a pretty good frame actually. That's nice.
He painted them really shittily though. He painted them with like house paint, so it's very expensive to like maintain because you also need like special kind of lighting to show that. I think the Rothko Temple in Texas just like closed because they were like it's too expensive for the maintenance of these works.
Fucking crazy.
Dude, I remember the first time I saw one in person though. I remember especially when I was young being like kind of like
Rude.
modern art.
Oh,
well, yeah,
sorry.
no, really rude. One time I got kicked out of the Indianapolis Art Museum because there was like a modern art exhibit, and the exhibit was like an empty room, and in the corner of the ceiling there was like a little hole, and out of the hole came a red piece of rope, and it went to like an anchor on the floor.
Oh, like Camara.
And that was exactly. And that was like the entire thing. And I remember I was like 20 and like on tour with my punk band, and we were like, oh, the art museum's free. We can like spend the whole day in there. And then I just remember being like, this is fucking stupid. What the fuck is the point? And like being like, I hate this. And then someone was like, you have to leave. Being so loud and rude about this. And I was just like, yeah, that makes sense.
It's fucking
But,
sick.
and they had like a bunch of like Warhol stuff in there that I was like, okay, I see it. Got the soup can. All right.
Got the
Don't
soup.
care. But then I remember like seeing a Rothko for the first time in person and being like, I can't do anything else except look at this thing. I have to like, and I understand people that don't like it, but I'm like, I don't know, man. It just did something. It did something to me seeing it in person.
I think you have to. I think so many people have a notion of like skillness attached to what makes an artwork good.
Yeah.
And it's and because like whatever, we have a piss poor like art education system, and because of art's inherent like insiderness and keeping the codes, it seems as like foreign and elite. So you think like, oh, someone's playing a joke on me, and if I can't literally if I could, whatever, if I could do this, or I can't see why this is difficult, then it's not good, as instead of kind of like approaching it for what it's trying to do and on its own terms. And I think that's very difficult for people, or people aren't taught to just ask like, what would the reason be that the artist did this and made these decisions? It's
almost like people look at it in a competitive manner, where it's like, no one said you couldn't do this.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's not the point.
Yeah. Well, number one, you didn't.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it. You didn't do it, and yeah, it's like. But there also is a thing where it's like, I guess it's hard for people to understand that like everything does have context, but also with like, especially with like more modern art, where it's like, you go and you see like Starry Night or something like that, and then people are like, okay, I understand it because it's a painting and I think it's pretty. But then it's like you see like a Rothko or something like that, and you go like, oh, I don't get it. Like, I don't get why this exists, and you have to like understand it's like, oh, it's just meant to, you're supposed to just like, I don't know, stand close to it and let it envelop you. Or just like, whatever. You're supposed to experience it.
Yeah.
And then more just being like, oh, I don't have the
Well, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I made
it's not a metaphor for something
that people
else.
think like art is, like it's a riddle to be solved.
Right, like it's a 1-to-1. Like,
yeah. And so you don't think about that with like a song. You're like, or you don't listen to like whatever Beethoven, like, what does this mean?
Sure.
You just like allow it to have an effect on you and surrender to it, and maybe like release your cynicism temporarily.
Yeah.
And it could also be bad. That's also the thing.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like most art is bad, so maybe this is not working.
And the fact that it's like, just because something is like a classic doesn't mean you have to like it. But you do have to understand that it is important in some way.
But the same way we're talking about movies, like classic movies, if you watch them kind of later on, like if you watch Citizen Kane now, you're like, okay. It's like you don't realize how fucking defining it was to that generation, to that moment.
Yeah, it'll always seem slow to us because we're so like putting the camera on the floor, putting the camera on the floor and looking up, like that just has become the visual language.
Yeah.
And so ingrained in all of us that we don't even.
Yeah, now that's like the basis of like Capital One ad on TikTok.
Yeah.
But it was like a thing at the point where they were like, oh my, he should be in jail for doing this, for like for doing this illegal camera movement.
He got rid of the floor. He put a hole in the floor.
Yeah. How did he
show the ceilings?
How's the boy outside and the people in the room in focus at the same time?
Yeah.
He's a witch. Kill him. No, it's pretty sick. I like art, especially when Bugs Bunny dresses up like a woman. I think that's the best.
That's
the
art.
highest
That is
level
art
of
to me.
Fucking sick.
That's art.
Speaking of high art, let's do some energy drink corner.
Oh shit!
Hey everyone, welcome to the energy drink corner. This week, Mike, you want to do it since you got it?
Oh yeah,
I was not warned. Oh, Jolly Rancher.
Yeah. So this is Are you an energy drink guy at all? Or
I don't drink any energy drink. I think it does seem like most of our brightest minds have now shifted from whatever trying to cure cancer to creating energy drinks.
That's creating cancer.
Yeah, all the carcinogens that go inside you. But I saw this at the store yesterday, and I was like, oh, got to try this fucking dog shit. So this is a C4 branded Jolly Rancher watermelon energy drink. 0 sugar.
Does Jolly Rancher make this, or is this a collab?
I think this is this is C4. They do a lot of collabs with different flavors, or different brands. Like they do like a Starburst one and
Hawaiian
like
Punch.
a Hawaiian Punch one, and that's like the big thing in like, unless you're like Monster or like Red Bull, like. It seems to be, especially in like the health and fitness world, it's like you want to do collabs because it seems to be that like everyone who's interested in this stuff still has like the mind of a child, where you're like, oh, I need the cinnamon toast crunch flavored protein powder because I remember when my life was good and I ate cinnamon toast crunch all the time.
Yeah. It's all just nostalgia based marketing.
Yeah, and then you're also like now, especially with like health and fitness stuff, when you're like restricting yourself so much in your diet, you're like, okay, I can't actually eat Jolly Ranchers because there is 4 grams of sugar in that, and I have not factored that into my MyFitnessPal plan of.
This is you talking.
Yeah, this is me talking. So now I need the Jolly.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't worry. Yeah, the guy who weighs his cereal before he eats it now.
You look great though. I haven't seen you in years.
I know. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm miserable.
And I've always looked good.
Yeah, exactly.
that's
Yeah,
not-
it's awesome that you've always looked good. I get to have credit for not looking, even still not as good as you do.
I think what you did is a great series because most people look shittier when they look older.
Yeah,
But you were heavier in your 20s.
yeah, and then
So now
I look like a guy.
now every time people's like, my God, no
Yeah.
one's aged better than Mike. Everyone else is falling apart.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
fall
they're
apart.
fucking losers. Yeah, but yeah, this is 200 milligrams of
Do
caffeine.
you drink coffee?
I drink a lot of
Okay.
coffee.
As long as you're some
Yeah,
caffeine.
no, no,
I don't want to hit you with a C4 if you've ever
No,
had
no.
any caffeine ever.
No, I think I'm borderline immune to coffee at this point, which is
good.
probably bad.
No. Life's short.
But then I just,
have anxiety.
coffee and I look at the sun and that just
Yeah.
rejuvenates me.
What kind of coffee do you drink? How do you like your coffee?
Cold brew.
Cold brew.
I had a sip of coffee this weekend.
Whoa, on accident?
No, we were me and my girlfriend were in the hotel room, and then there was like a
You drink this but not coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my
wake up?
soul. Dude, I literally went to the gym today at 8 in the morning, and I had one of these before I went to the gym at 8 a.m. And
Jesus
it is a real
Christ.
recipe for disaster. But I lifted
And
heavy.
you choke out the guy who
Yeah.
collects the towels.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude. I wish it was a guy. It's a bunch of little Hispanic women who are also in the men's dressing room all the time, and I want to be like, hey, my penis is gonna be out soon, so you should probably get the hell out of here. But
They were not impressed.
they
by your
no.
penis.
They go like, it's not. We see those all the time, and yours is no.
Mike, no.
So tiny.
They know your name at this point.
So
Yeah.
Mike,
tiny.
go lift weight. Why you here always?
Yeah, I'm just standing there with my shirt on, but I'm Winnie the Poohing in the locker room, shirt on, dick out. I go, I'm still working on my abs. Okay, I don't want everyone to see
Don't
that.
look at him.
That'd be funny for a skinny dipper, but who's still embarrassed about their
Oh,
body.
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
But they want to participate.
Yeah,
We're all going skinny
It's-
dipping, and they're like, just
Hey, it's out.
Hey, you said
It's
this is a
out.
clothing optional beach, and I've decided the only option for me is to wear a shirt and no pants.
Oh, it's
like
awful.
JD Vance does that.
I took a
Dude,
sip, and
yeah.
oh boy, is
Let's
it
drink this
is it a
fucking-
Jolly Rancher
Let's
energy
drink
drink?
this fucking poison.
Holy
Oh my
shit, it hits.
God. Holy shit.
This is like if someone boiled Jolly Ranchers and then only gave you what was the
Yeah.
syrup.
Right, like they reduced it.
How is it clear?
It's
The
really
artificial
crazy.
colors.
Yeah.
It should.
It is almost more alarming that it's clear, right?
I know. I need the
It's a-
lie.
Probably the
Just give me the dumb smooth brain lie.
Yeah.
it's probably the beta power betaine anhydrous. That's,
Oh!
that's
Honestly,
probably doing all
not that different from what Poppi tastes like.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Dude, this tastes like I used to do this thing when I was in elementary school where I would get a Mountain Dew. I would go to 7-Eleven, I would get a Mountain Dew and a pack of Skittles, and I would pour a bunch of the Skittles into the bottle of Mountain Dew and let them like
Jesus.
disintegrate into the soda. And so it would become like this kind of
And this was
amalgamation.
your breakfast.
This was my like I'd say after
I
school
want to have
snack.
diarrhea snack.
Yeah. It would be my I'm gonna go my skateboarding badly fuel.
My parents would give me $5 for lunch, and I was a vegetarian in high school, so I didn't. There was just like one truck, and I think I had a Gatorade and a Snickers bar for lunch for a long time.
Whoa.
Every
Girl
once in a while,
lunch.
everyone's a girl
Your
lunch.
Girl lunch.
Chubby boy lunch.
Yeah, dude, I had it made in high school, where the only good part of my day was going to lunch because my friend's mom worked one of the windows in the lunchroom. So I would have like my lunch. I would get like literally just a big tray of only French fries, and then I would go to her window and she would give me a bagel with cream cheese and a bag of Doritos and an Arizona iced tea. So I would have a bagel with cream cheese, a bag of red Doritos, and Arizona iced tea, and also a styrofoam plate full of French fries.
Wow.
Every
what a
day
lunch.
for lunch. And
You
but
were
I didn't have to-
carbo loading
Dude,
every day.
it was-
of
yeah,
school.
I could have ran a marathon, but instead I would just fall asleep in math class every day. I would put my hood up
Yeah.
and fall asleep.
Teacher wakes you up like,
You were
Your
training.
Honor.
You were training for something.
Yeah. I was training. I was bulking for about 35 years until I could finally carve away at it and become.
It's never been tried before.
Dude, yeah, no, it was a long bulk.
Fucking hell.
And do I have to finish this? Is this
No,
like
you
a,
can
no,
drink
you
as
don't
much.
do
No,
this
no,
is like
just-
a
as long as you
hazing
taste it.
process
no,
for the podcast?
just taste it just so we can review it and rate it.
So we rate it an energy drink 0 out of 5 lightning bolts.
Okay.
0, you hate it. 5, you liked it so much you're gonna search it online and order it.
I'll be honest with you. Jolly Rancher watermelon was my favorite candy was one of my favorite candies when I
That's
was a
still
kid.
my favorite.
Oh.
candy.
I love it.
I still have them
It's
at least once a week. I would say.
They're so.
I didn't care for hard candies.
I would
But-
I would crunch on them. I would suck on them for about a couple minutes to get them a little
But
soft.
this almost has like it's a diety flavor.
This is 10 calories.
Okay,
this
yeah,
is
so
like
that's what I taste. There's always the aftertaste in diet beverages,
Yeah.
which is why you like need. Maybe that's why they need you to eat salt, so it masks. You
Oh,
need to eat
yeah,
food,
maybe.
so it masks how horrible the aftertaste is, and so that is off-putting. What you know? I'm talking about that flavor where there's like a little empty aftertaste.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've kind of become immune to it because I'm a diet soda guy.
But I drink Diet Coke all the time. I can't do it without.
Without
food.
like a beverage. Yeah, I can
Or
like
without it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, sorry without
Yeah, I
a snack
chase
or
my
something.
diet sodas with a little bit of real soda.
Yeah.
Coke is great.
Yeah, it goes fantastic.
Dude.
I would hate myself if I drink Coke.
Seeing someone
I
drink a red can of Coke, you're like, holy shit.
My God,
I'll say
What
this
a
when I see
divorce,
you're
eh?
a bold man.
when I see a man do it, I go like, you have no control over your life, and you should get yourself together. And when I see a woman drink a regular Coke, I go, you are sexy.
You're a goddess.
You are.
You don't
oh
wear
my
a
god.
bra.
I'm like
Liquid
you're like,
cigarette.
I'm like, yeah. You're like French, drinking a regular Coke.
Yeah,
You're smoking a
yeah.
cigarette. I'm like, oh, awesome. But also
No, like if I won an Oscar, I'd be like, I'll treat myself to a regular
Right.
Coke.
literally every once in a while, I'll go to like a Mexican restaurant and get like a Mexican Coke, even though I know it's like at this point it's
that's
this.
healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you whisper it?
I go like I literally will be like, can I get a Mexican
There are like
Coke?
Oh,
I think like Taqueria Ramirez, which I really like. I think they only have like Topo Chico or Mexican Coke, and you're
Yeah.
like, why are you doing this to me?
I meant, do you go like this? Hi, can I get a Mexican Coke?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I go like, yeah, let me get one of them Cokes. It makes me feel uncomfortable when there's too many of them around. If you know what I mean?
Can I get a glass bottle of Coke?
Yeah. But I
Okay.
do feel like I'm like,
Coke, please.
A soda Sweetie Gonzalez would like to drink.
I hate that I've become a kind of guy though where it's like I drink a regular soda and I go like, I'm being bad.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
like, fucking hell, man. You used to be cool.
No, it's that voice. It's gonna be there for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. God.
You don't have that.
No.
You lucky bastard. That's because
I've
you
been
work out 1,000
Different.
times a day.
Well, it's a
But when's the last time you drank a regular Coke?
long time. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But it's because I like to eat my sugar. I love candies and treats and it's just
Do you count calories?
No.
Okay.
Because I think I kind of burned that part of my brain off when I was cutting weight and for fighting because I had to be a specific weight. So I was weighing myself all the time and like thinking about my weight all the time and watching what I was eating all the time. And it's like, I think I just made it so that when I was done with that part of my life, I'm like, I will never give a shit about
Yeah.
what I like the number of calories. Like I like eating healthy. I like, having a nice thing. I exercise every day.
You guys still vegan?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're still vegan.
Okay.
But I refuse to like do any kind of number. No, I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
No, mine's like Catholic. Like I just, it's like disembodied. You
Yeah.
know, the Holy Ghost just like watching me, whatever I eat. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, like I can't get popcorn, but if my friend at the movie gets popcorn,
Oh.
that's it. That
there's
doesn't count.
Yeah.
I didn't buy that.
Yeah. You're,
I'm convincing myself that like I'm morally pure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I still withstood, the test. I was not.
No.
Yeah. I did not fall
yeah.
to temptation.
Exactly, but then I also can't refuse a gift from a friend
It'd be rude.
of him giving me some popcorn.
Yeah, you latch onto any culture just so that it can help you get a snack. It's like in the Japanese custom, it's rude to turn down gifts.
One must eat mochi Kit Kats.
Yeah. Well, I must. Wait. Review it. Give it your score.
Oh. 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Very good.
Yeah.
Lucky score.
Keep
Big
in
round
mind,
of
I never drink energy
yeah.
drinks.
Hey,
No,
we that's what we like to clarify up top. So
Okay,
the
this
fans
is-
who listen and care about
And
this,
care.
Yeah.
they know.
They
your
know
shit.
that my barometer is
Yeah.
completely haywire.
It's ignorant. You're an ignorant person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so many things.
I'm gonna go 3.25.
Okay.
I think
no
we'll
one told
do-
me there was there's a fucking pitchfork.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yes,
Dude,
it
you can get
is.
as granular as you want. I'm gonna. Oh, I don't know, because I liked the taste a lot.
I
but
couldn't drink more than that little bit. I'd be like,
I could also
nah.
see myself like drinking a whole can and being like, I'm sick.
Yeah, I could really get sick.
This would be a nightcap, a nice like
Oh, a sip. Yeah, we call that a sipping energy drink.
sip of
Yeah.
energy.
Can you crush it or do you sip it?
Yeah.
Oh no! See what I do is this is my red light energy drink. I drink it at night when I'm getting ready to go to bed. I have my red light on.
And Marino? No. Just a little.
Yeah. Am I a Fernet?
Digestif. Yeah.
Yeah.
Digestif.
Yeah. The lady shall have a Fernet, and I will have a watermelon Jolly Rancher C4. Please.
Yes.
Thank you.
It pairs so nicely with the souffle.
Yeah. I get a tiramisu, and I get a watermelon Jolly Rancher C4.
This restaurant is BYOED, right?
BYO C4.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I give it a I give it a 3.5. I like the flavor. I like the flavor a lot.
All right.
Because it really does taste like a watermelon Jolly Rancher.
It really does.
It like bang on. And it
But
does
too
have that
much, in my opinion.
Okay,
I think it might have the same ingredients.
Oh, for sure. Poison.
It just says on the ingredients it says melted.
Yeah.
By the way, ED, energy drink, erectile dysfunction. Do you think?
No connection. And actually, fuck you for bringing that up.
I feel like the overlap is
And eating disorder.
And eating disorder.
There was this time in my life where I was
all the good things, honestly.
You have one of the. Everyone has one of the three.
You
in their
got
life.
pick 3.
Yeah, and we have energy drinks, and
I have
it.
all 3. I have.
Nice.
There was a time in my life where I was addicted to, I would say, energy drinks and also Blue Chew. And I was really putting my heart through like a Tough Mudder situation, having both of those things in my system at the same time.
And
like
do they work
chugging a
well
Celsius-
in tandem?
Dude, yeah, they really do, in a way that it is hard for you to stop taking them.
Like Captain Planet, like they all combine
yeah.
in your
Like
cock.
combined, you're like, oh, there's no, you've never been a higher performance male than right now when you have a Celsius and a Blue Chew running through your system at 11 p.m. going to meet a stranger.
Yeah, that's redlining it.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, I was really in a
Jesus.
dark place.
Hey,
And
now you're not
yeah, well,
technically.
yeah.
He's fucking rock hard.
Yeah,
natural, baby.
Yeah, now I'm rock hard over the idea of fitness.
Yeah.
Or
Braless
whatever.
chicks in Washington
Yeah.
Square Park.
Are you a movie guy?
I'm a big movie guy.
You're a big movie guy. Can you give us your top 4? Are you on Letterboxd?
Oh, top 4 of all time?
Yeah, all time. We've been doing
Or
that
right
for the
now, whatever
guests.
you want the top 4 to be.
Jesus Christ.
Whatever you want, however you want to be judged.
Should I just look at what's on my letterbox?
Yeah, you have a
if
top
you have a
4, we would
letterbox,
love that.
yeah. We'll compare. I mean,
I guess
We'll
I
show you
can't.
ours as well.
I haven't. Oh fuck! I forgot mine is all red still. What the fuck is going on? The fuck? Is my phone
Oh,
broken?
that was my favorite movie, Red, with
Bruce Willis,
Bruce Willis.
Samuel Jackson, I think is in that.
Yeah.
And
I
what's
like
the
Project Red from
Helen Mirren, I
Helen
think.
Mirren.
would be
The
in there.
Gap. Was it?
Yeah, Code Red. Was it Code Red?
No, Code Red
Is
is the
you
Doja
too?
Soda. Yeah, Project Red.
Sort by.
Something about AIDS being bad? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Highest first.
it's not good.
It's not good.
I have a lot of 5s, so I'm just going to pick a random 5s that I will think will be like sufficiently esoteric but still good to
Yeah.
impress you.
Yeah.
So to calculate. Okay, let's put Persona on there.
Oh, okay.
Bergman. Blowout.
I just talked about how much I love Blowout.
Brian De
Because
Palma.
he went to Philly, and I was talking about how the time I went to Philly, I had to go to the train station that's famous in
Oh
Blowout.
yeah.
Yeah.
That movie is
That's a tradition
so
for Blowout.
fucking amazing.
See, folks, if you watch the Patreon, isn't that funny?
You learn. I didn't watch the Patreon.
Off the microphone.
All That Jazz. Have you
Okay.
seen that movie?
No, I haven't seen it. I've heard
Bob
people put it on their
Fosse.
top 4.
It's not available on streaming or anywhere because of some weird rights issue. But it's Bob Fosse who did the
civil rights.
Civil rights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a civil rights issue.
it's a civil rights issue. Yeah.
They were spraying every one of the hose on
There
set.
are a few great movies that like The Heartbreak Kid, the Elaine May,
Elaine May, it's
because of
impossible to find.
some weird rights issues. I think it was it's like some restaurant owns it. I don't know. Whatever.
It's a very interesting thing. Max just downloaded it. We're going to watch
Heartbreak
it.
Kid?
Oh,
Oh,
it's-
wait for me. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
It's so good. Yeah, I just
Legally.
you just have to hunt. I think I played at BAM, and that was
Yeah,
like the only reason so Bob Fosse, who like choreographer, he did Chicago. You know the like style of dance.
Yeah.
So he also was a film director. If his most famous movie before this was Lenny, which was the Lenny Bruce movie.
I never saw that.
He made in the 70s with Dustin Hoffman, I think. And so the movie is like a biopic that he made about himself
It's awesome.
as he was editing the Lenny Bruce doc and choreographing Chicago at the same and like burning the candle on both ends.
Jesus.
But and as he has these crazy health problems, and he's sleeping with all these women. But he's like made a biopic about himself while he was still alive.
Fucking
Side
big dick
Rorschach. You guys
move,
have
man.
to see this movie.
Oh yeah, I'll watch
It's
it.
fucking unbelievable.
That's crazy. Holy shit.
And it has amazing musical numbers, and like the whole second half, he's like dying and he's delusional in the hospital. So all the scenes are like dreams in musical form.
Fuck.
So
I'll put it on my list.
would recommend. And then maybe a comedy. Should I do?
Whatever's in your heart.
I can't say Woody Allen movies. That's not allowed. Close Up. Do you know that movie? It's a Persian movie
No.
by Kiarostami. I'm saying really pretentious now, but
No,
you guys.
whatever you like. I
but
don't
also,
care.
that one's a really
Something
cool.
being good doesn't make you pretentious. You have taste.
That's fair. That's also a really cool movie because it's based on a true story about this guy in Iran who pretended to be this very famous Iranian director, Makhmalbaf, and he tricked this wealthy family into like letting him stay with him, and he said that he was gonna like make a movie with their family, and he went to jail, but he wasn't trying to get money, but he just like pretending to be this guy.
Whoa.
Awesome.
And then the director made this movie, but he used all the real people in who
What
did
the
the thing. So
fuck?
it's the real guy who went to jail, and then the real family, and they all played versions of themselves. And then it's also mixed in with some real footage of like the judge, the cleric judge at the court case. It's so trippy.
I'm gonna watch that.
And
That sounds awesome.
art imitating life, and it's another director because they were friends, the two directors. It's so good.
Let me take a picture.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen the poster and it's unbelievable.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw someone put this on their list of favorites of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that poster.
good. He has a bunch of. He's like my favorite Persian director. He made that movie, The Taste of Cherry, which is also. You probably have seen like stills of that.
Yeah.
Have been going viral.
Yeah.
On Twitter. Yeah. What are your guys's? Or does the audience already know?
The audience, we're talking to you. We're not talking to them.
So
But also, again, we always forget this could be someone's first ever time listening to our podcast.
Okay.
You don't scroll to the episode 1 when
That's
you're gonna
true.
check something out.
Yeah.
You check out whatever has the sexiest guest.
My top 4 right now are Mikey and Nikki,
Elaine May.
Elaine May.
That's
awesome.
a great movie.
Cool Hand Luke.
I was also.
Yeah.
I've given that a 5.
It's great. Kelly Reichardt's Old Joy.
I haven't seen that.
It's really great. So it's just a movie about two old friends who haven't seen each other in a long time. They go on a camping trip together in the woods in Oregon, and like slowly realizing how far you've grown apart from like the guy you like. It's like one friend is still the same as when they were in their early 20s, and one has like matured and has like a wife and is gonna have a kid. And you just like see like, oh, this is what happens when like one guy stays the same and one guy matures or whatever. And it's like you're kind of like, oh, I'm both of those guys. At this, you feel like in every relationship you have, you're like, oh, I feel like a different version. And it's also just like basically the two of them and a dog, and that's the entire cast of the movie. Other than like, oh, there's a lady in a diner.
Don't you hate
for a
watching
second.
those movies? Because then you're like, well, why can't I do that?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
it's
yeah,
so simple.
yeah.
I could do
Why
that.
the
It's
fuck-
not hard, but I can't.
Yeah, it's an MMD movie.
Yeah,
It tricks you. Well, I feel like that's what Clerks tricked so many people
Right.
into
Oh,
thinking
dude.
I could do that.
Yeah.
And they cannot.
You cannot.
They cannot.
I
You
wrote
fucking wish you could.
I wrote something like a pilot or something once, and I let somebody read it, and they're like, "Man, really? Tell you like Kevin Smith?" And I was like, "Ow,
Fuck.
Who also got yassified, similar to.
dude." Yeah, he did. Yeah, and
He
also,
can't stop wearing big sport coats and
dude,
backwards
it's
hats.
I know.
so funny. It's so funny. It's crazy. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna buy new clothes.
Wear big shorts.
I'm just a millionaire.
Now he kind of looks like a DreamWorks character a little bit.
There is a thing where it's like when you, especially like if you're like older and you lose weight fast,
Yeah.
your body is like, I don't know what the hell to do with this, and you just look kind of like
Yeah.
crazy. You look like a weird like shell of a guy. Because it's like if you lose weight but don't gain muscle, you just look like empty
Truly.
in a way.
Do you worry that people think you were on Ozempic?
People have asked me, and it really offends me.
I know. You're like,
Yeah.
I fucking
I worked
grinded
really
so-
fucking hard.
Nice.
Yeah. Some one time after a show, because I like have a I like talk about it on stage, like losing weight, and a woman went, "Did you lose weight?" I think she said naturally, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And she goes like, "Oh, did you take Ozempic?" And I was like, I so didn't take it that I didn't even know what the fuck you were talking about.
Yeah.
Because she's like, "Oh, because I did," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." No, no, I didn't do that.
No, I tortured myself.
No,
for
no,
years.
what I did was instead I have made myself mentally ill.
Yeah.
I've driven myself insane and changed myself in a way that is kind of intolerable to be
Which
around
is
for
a
almost
pre-existing
everyone.
condition. Actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So now I can, dude. It'd be so funny to lose all this weight and then now I get on Ozempic.
Yeah.
And then I get to like a weird. I'm like, oh no, I have to do like.
We'll all have to be on it, I think, eventually.
Oh,
if you want to like keep your insurance, it's like how it's more expensive if you smoke.
Yeah. Dude, but now I think with movies, it's like, oh, because it's like, you know, you think about like Christian Bale in The Machinist or something where it's like they had to do this horrible torture to like get down to this weight, and now it's like, oh, you can just take Ozempic and like in like 4 months you'll like have lost 50 pounds and you'll look crazy, but that's what you need to do for this role. That's like Jesse Plemons allegedly did that.
What do you think is more fun, gaining a lot of weight and then having to lose it normally, or then like having to lose a lot of weight, like De Niro for Raging Bull at the end, or The Machinist?
What do you think is more fun? I think
both-
it's probably more fun to gain weight.
But then
for most
you
people.
then you have to lose it, and
Well-
and you don't have a goal to lose it for. Or you
That's,
just
yeah,
say-
but it's not. I still think it's
That's just more fun to eat. Yeah, you want the
it's
fat
more
roast.
fun. It sucks on the way down, but it's more fun because it's fun to get fat and eat a bunch.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you're
it is.
like, all
I'll
right.
tell you this. It really fucking is.
Then it's
Yeah,
also
like
kind of
it's for work.
Yeah.
rewarding to get back into shape. Where
That's true.
if it's the inverse, where you have to get skinny and then you're like, all right, going back to my normal shitty self.
Yeah.
Not that being fat makes you a bad person in any way, shape, or form. I love all of you so much. It's
Some of
just
you can
I
use a
don't
little
think
bit
the
more
curve.
discipline, but
The curve is probably better in one regard.
What was the fourth movie?
oh, The Piano Teacher. Love The Piano
Jane
Teacher.
Shame. I've never seen that. I don't know why.
You have
Piano
to.
Teacher? Yeah, dude, you gotta watch it.
My-
Do not. I'll
That's
say this
just
right
like-
now. Do not watch it with your wife.
Wait
Watch it
for her to
alone
go
first.
out.
Yeah.
Just
So-
Blue Valentine and then
Yeah.
back to back.
Drop Dead Gorgeous. I think it's the funniest movie ever made. The Piano Teacher, Rushmore, and 12 Angry Men. 1957, Sidney Lumet.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Did you see that on TikTok? It was going viral
No,
in like 10-minute clips, and
that's awesome.
and by the way, not cropped. Just people were watching.
Dude, it'd be even funnier if someone
It's like the
that's
size of an
awesome.
Apple Watch.
Yeah, you're like,
on your phone, and people are like, "Yo, this is dope. What is this? What's this from?"
dude, it's the greatest movie ever made.
I think it'd be even better if it's like it's going viral and you take one of the most beautifully shot movies ever made and you're doing like the weird like TikTok like zooming in on people on
60
whoever's
by 9.
talking
Yeah, yeah.
to make it fit.
I
the
started a new
screen.
TikTok just to see what would come to me, and I started getting these really weird, like,
And congratulations, buddy. You're
Oh,
killing it. I want to
thank
make
you.
sure you know that.
thanks. You guys are
Yeah.
killing it.
No, but good.
So it's like they take movies and then they have a voiceover. So they take like really well-known movies or also like Lifetime movies that are all, and they do voiceover as if they're like morality tales. And so it's like the man saw a woman struggling.
Yeah, I know
and then,
exactly.
and he was unsure if he should say something. And then he did. And then he helped her. And they were nice, and she was lonely, and then they went to buy coffee, but she had a dark past. It's just like, and are they going to do this with the Godfather, where it's just
that's
like
awesome.
the man came to the Godfather with a problem
on the day of his daughter's
It
wedding.
was the same day of his
3-hour
daughter.
TikTok that's just good.
It's just he's like, and then the Godfather gave him an offer that he could not refuse. And they
Fucking
also use
nonsense.
a filter to
Oh, of
make the
course.
kind of like glows. All the characters are glowing.
It's all that filter where it's like, poof, like it's a ramp up side effect where
yeah.
you're slow mode then sped up and
It's like,
TikTok is so interesting.
why can't we just watch the real thing then? Obviously, you want it.
Because creating content, if you're dumb, is difficult. Original. So they just go, what was someone else made? Okay, I'll explain that.
Yeah.
It made me laugh really hard. Have you seen that clip of it's Conor O'Malley on Seth Meyers talking about how he's joking, but he's saying he's watching Billions on YouTube
yeah.
Shorts. So my girlfriend sent that clip to her.
Barely a joke.
It's barely a joke. My
barely a
girlfriend
joke,
sent that
it's
clip to her
brilliant.
brother, and he goes, "I am watching Billions on YouTube Shorts."
Jesus
And he
Christ.
sincerely is watching Billions on YouTube Shorts, and
And
I'm
what's
like,
funny? The regular show Billions is playing on his normal TV. But he's like, I got to do double screen.
"Yeah, no, I need it. I gotta go. What's going on right now?"
We're living through a beautiful time of mental illness.
I think it's fucking awesome.
I think it's sick. Dan, thank you so much for coming by. To
Thanks
the
for
podcast.
having
I
me,
didn't
guys.
okay.
Dude, hell yeah.
Where can people follow you? View, blah,
The
blah,
Dan
blah.
Rosen on all the things. I have
Follow.
a podcast called Middlebrow Pod.
Awesome.
Dan
Yeah.
rocks.
Hell yeah! I only talk about Persian movies from the 90s. That's it.
Awesome.
Very
That's all.
sick. Respect.
A section of our listeners will be over there immediately to listen
Absolutely. Follow Mike Abruzzi at Mike Abruzzi.
to that. Follow Diego Lopez at this Diego Lopez.
Patreon.com/A Little Time Pod for 4 bonus episodes a month plus video of all 8 episodes a week before everyone else.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be. Where the fuck am I gonna be? Zany's in Rosemont, Illinois, and the Comedy Loft in DC, and in November I'll be in Australia doing shows.
Woo!
Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and we'll see if my ex-girlfriend shows up.
Fingers crossed.
All right.
Bye, everyone. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.